So, it's WrestleMania time. Well, almost. We're a week away. And I figured I'd do my predictions. But before I do my predictions, I have some things I want to get off my chest. First off, I get the IWC will bitch and moan about how celebrities shouldn't be at WrestleMania. I'm indifferent. As a person that has watched every WrestleMania, well, not every, but tried to rewatch a bunch of WrestleManias before my time, I realized that celebrity involvement when it comes to WrestleMania has always been a thing. And it's been around since WrestleMania 1. The main event of WrestleMania 1 was WWF Champion Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, celebrity right there, versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. The guest enforcer, Muhammad Ali. Uh, Cyndi Lauper, also WrestleMania 1. Lawrence Taylor, WrestleMania 11, who was in the main event match against Bam Bam Bigelow. I feel that the championship should always go first, should always go last, but Vince didn't trust Shawn Michaels at the time until WrestleMania 12. Mike Tyson. There's a big one right there. Mike Tyson was the special guest enforcer for the WWF title match between Austin and Michaels. He ended up punching Michaels right in the face. Fake, by the way, but he was involved in that match. He was involved. Everyone loved that. But and here, I'll bring up one more. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg made 2 appearances at WrestleMania, by the way. But we're not talking about the one where he let his cousin, Sasha Banks, now goes by Mercedes Moné on AEW, to her match. I'm talking about his involvement at WrestleMania 24. Hell, even his involvement in WrestleMania 39 and 40. You can't tell me that now because Travis Scott and Jelly Roll and I Show Speed, we'll get to him later, and Pat McAfee, now you guys don't like it. Like I said, celebrity involvement has always been, it's been etched in WrestleMania's history. However, I don't think that Randy Orton's feud with Cody Rhodes needed Pat McAfee. And that's the issue. That is the issue right there. Why add him in? Why add him in to that feud? You know, you could have put him on commentary. You could have put him back on commentary. He's funny. I don't mind him. But political views aside, I still think his commentary is funny. But why was he added into that match? Another gripe I have is they blew it with a other match. On Raw, I was expecting The Vision, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, to call out Matt Hardy after a tweet that Matt Hardy made, saying that he would love to face The Vision and take the World Tag Team titles away. So I was like ecstatic. I was like, holy shit, we're gonna get Hardy's versus Vision, or even a TLC match, a triple threat TLC match. Second time at WrestleMania, by the way. But no. Instead, we're getting The Vision and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight in a 6-man tag match. That was a wasted opportunity. However, we still have SummerSlam. still have SummerSlam. We still have other. They're gonna come back at SummerSlam. I know some people are gonna see this video and like, well, that aged well, that aged poorly, but I was expecting them to at least call up, mention the tweet that Matt Hardy sent out, rather than give us a stupid 6-man tag match that really has no point. You know, you could have had LA Knight face ISHO Speed one-on-one, and had the Usos get their rematch. You could have had the Usos get their rematch, and then Adam Pearce could have added, oh, by the way, we're making it a triple threat, and it's going to be contested under TLC, under tables, ladders, and chairs. Yes, I know if he mentions triple threat, fans will know quickly that it's going to be Matt and Jeff Hardy. And with the possibility of Paige returning, I think it would be best to save Matt and Jeff, but at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I said that they're returning at SummerSlam, I just contradicted myself. But it was a wasted opportunity. My rant is done. Now let's get on to the predictions. We'll start with night one. So night one, we got AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, the 6-man tag match. Rhea Ripley. Oh no, the Rhea Ripley and Jade is night two. We got the shit. We got Cody versus Randy. Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. We have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. We have the Fatal 4-Way tag match for the women's tag team titles. What is that? That's 5 matches right there. Plus we have the 6-man tag match. I'm trying to think if there's any other match. Oh, Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Here's what I think is going to happen. If Stephanie retains, it's going to be because of interference. It's going to be because Roxanne Perez betrays Liv Morgan. Remember what she said on Raw. If Liv wins, it's going to be because of Raquel and Dom, and Dominic Mysterio. But me personally, I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to retain over Liv Morgan. And Roxanne is revealed to be the one to help out Stephanie Vaquer retain. Meaning we got a babyface Roxanne. The 6-man tag match. I'm just going to say it right now. The Usos and LA Knight win. Remember, Danhausen still cursed ISHO Speed, and ISHO Speed still cursed. However, I don't think that night's going to be over. I don't think it's going to be over for the Vision. I say they're going to defend their titles on Sunday. Impromptu tag match, just between them and the Usos. The Vision gets distracted, which will cause LA Knight to get his hands on ISHO Speed. Blunt force trauma Speed takes the pin. I would not have either member of the Vision or the ones that hold the tag team titles take the pin. It'll make them look weak. As much as I don't care for the Vision. Now, Gunther versus Seth Rollins. I don't want Gunther to win. I have a feeling he will, but I just have this weird feeling that Gunther is gonna get a second loss at Mania. So my my prediction for that, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins that match. Now we move on to the Fatal 4-Way. Here's another match I don't care for, but I would like to see the Bellas get one. I'd like to see the Bellas gain that title. So my prediction is the Bellas pin Lyra Valkyria. They pin Lyra. Alexa turns heel on Charlotte. Either one of those two are going to turn heel. But, again, take your pick. I think I'm forgetting a match on night one. I don't necessarily know. I gotta re-look at the card. But if I do forget one, just let me know in the comments. Now we have the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. With Pat McAfee in his corner. Should Randy lose, Pat McAfee will never be on wrestling TV again. And because of that, Randy loses. I say Ted DiBiase Jr. comes out and helps out Cody Rhodes. He comes out, takes out Pat McAfee. Cody goes heel. Going into that match, you have Randy Orton, who's the heel. Cody Rhodes is the face. At the end of that match, both positions are going to swap. Randy Orton becomes the babyface. Cody Rhodes becomes the heel with Ted DiBiase Jr. After the match, Cody Rhodes starts beating up Randy Orton. And then punt kicks him, which is what Randy Orton would do. Punts him in the face, and we don't see Randy Orton until SummerSlam. And then Cody turns heel. He denies the 15th and turns heel. Now we're on to night 2. So night 2 is Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, the unsanctioned match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. Oh wait, I'm missing a match. Becky versus AJ Lee. I knew I was forgetting one. AJ retains, makes Becky Lynch submit, but before Becky taps out, we hear Paige's theme song. I know I'm going to be wrong, but I say Paige returns to help out AJ Lee, which will cause AJ Lee to retain. Becky takes a leave of absence. We don't hear from her for a while. Now, on to night 2. So night 2, we have Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. The six-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title. We have Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. And then we have CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. We're going to start off with the show opener. We'll open the show with Oba versus Brock. That one goes to Obafemi. You built him up this way. You guys built him up. He's got the hype. You don't want to kill that hype. You have him win against Brock Lesnar. Lesnar's still going to look strong. He puts the young star over. We don't see his retirement match until SummerSlam, until close to SummerSlam. But it looks like he does retire. He takes his gloves off, leaves him in the ring. Then you hear Gunther's music play, which Gunther says, "You're not done. I spoke to Paul Heyman. I want you at SummerSlam, and I'm going to end your career. That's what he says to Brock Lesnar, and then we have that match up in the air. But I say Obafemi defeats Brock Lesnar. Dominic versus Finn. Demon Finn, by the way. That one goes to Finn Balor. He needs a win at WrestleMania. He does. He honestly needs a win. So have him beat Dominic Mysterio clean. JD comes out, but so does Damian. Damian Priest comes out to help out Finn Balor. Looks like we might be getting an OG Judgment Day reunion. Now we go to Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. That match, I can see. I want to say Rhea, but Rhea's been getting dominated every week. So I'm going to say Jade. Say Jade Cargill's going to take that match. Via disqualification, though. I say that's going to be via disqualification. Now we have the ladder match. We have their ladder match. Penta versus Ray versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough, who's hurt. He gets hurt, so he might not actually compete. How fitting. Rusev and Javon Evans. JD is replaced by El Grande Americano. Obviously, if you guys thought it was going to be Jeff Hardy or Chris Jericho, you're wrong. Again, if one Hardy's coming back, the other one's coming back too. And Chris Jericho's with AEW, so you see that. Penta retains. Penta retains. Standing ovation. Both him and Ray have a moment. Now we get to an impromptu tag match. Remember what I said earlier? We get an impromptu tag team title match. The Vision versus the Usos. It's gonna be one-on-one. If you guys, I know there's probably some people that would think, okay, if they're gonna have an impromptu tag match, it's gonna be TLC. It's gonna be a triple threat, and the Hardys are gonna show up. Yes, the Hardys are in Vegas next week. They're in Vegas, and TNA has said 18th and 19th. Don't know what that means. Nobody knows what that means. Everyone's thinking TNA is going to show up to WrestleMania. I doubt it. If it happens, great. Which would mean we'll be getting the triple threat TLC between the Vision, the Usos, and the Hardys. I say it's just going to be a normal one-on-one tag team title match between the Vision and the Usos. The Vision retain. The Vision retain due to disqualification. Yeah, they want to get out of there after getting embarrassed night one. They're going to embarrass the Usos by causing a disqualification as soon as the bell rings. Now we get on to the main event. Oh boy. This is a tough one. This one's going to be interesting. Roman Reigns comes out first. Then CM Punk comes out to the song Miseria Canter. I know AEW fans are going to punch the air when I say that, because Punk did the same thing in AEW. But since that song is featured in WWE 2K26, it would make sense. The Rock shows up. The Rock shows up. You know, I would say Punk loses. And I'm going to say that. You know what? CM Punk loses the match because the match becomes Bloodline rules. Nobody found out. Nobody knows until other than Roman. We get that. Then The Rock comes out. The Rock comes out, distracts CM Punk, spear, 1, 2, 3. CM Punk loses the World Heavyweight title. And then The Rock takes the mic and issues a challenge for next year's WrestleMania. The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship at next year's WrestleMania, which will be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. That's the Money Mania, as Santi Zap has already said. But let me know what you guys think. Honestly, I was stoked for this WrestleMania with what I just mentioned with Pat McAfee and ISHO Speed. They better do something good. Oh, and Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre is probably going to be match of the night. Jacob gets his revenge. That match is going to be bloody. Me saying that, it's not going to happen. We're going to get a little speck of blood, that's about it. But those two are going to kill each other. Not literally. But it's going to be one hell of a match. And it's going to be match of the night. But let me know what you guys think. Tomorrow I got a Habs recap, as I just finished watching the Habs Panthers game. That was a good one. A very good game. But yeah. That's it for this one. Have a good one.